Hey everybody, Mark Edward Lewis here from CinemaSound.com. We're going to be looking today in Adobe Audition at the Ambience library from both Europe and urban libraries from Boom. This amazing Ambience library that you can get 15% off from CinemaSound.com as a CinemaSound member, which is free. You can just become a member and get this special code, buy it on our store, and get a coupon for that 15% off. We're going to be in Adobe Audition. We're going to be cutting a picture. Let's roll. So we're here in Adobe Audition, and if you've never opened Adobe Audition, I invite you to come stream our product, Adobe Audition 123, from CinemaSound.com, where we basically take you from, I'm a photographer, I have no idea how things work in Audition, I've never booted it, all the way to 5.1 delivery and higher, which is great. Lots of facility in the program. So here, we've got a scene that's going to cut from one scene to another. I've got some ambiances in here already. And if I zoom out, you can see that I've added markers for the cut points, which is really, really helpful, as you'll see in a moment. So check this out.
You know about this?
Let me just jump over here.
Frelling. Buzzkill. Oh.
And now without the ambiances in there, it kind of sucks. So just take a listen here one more time. I'm going to go to the end and let's mute the ambiances and the music.
Oh.
Dead quiet. Ambiances back in. This we've cut previously.
Oh.
And ambiances always have, well, generally have a one-frame fade-out or a two-frame crossfade if you're butting them up against each other. I don't like butting them up against each other because sometimes you want to add special effects that you don't otherwise have. So I've got one track here that's available for ambiances. Let's add another one. These are just going to be stereo, and these are coming from the Boom library, both the European and urban ambience library. This is Ambience 4. Cool, and we'll make sure that it's going to the correct output. Master, yes, it is. Fantastic. In files, I've already sort of pre-picked some cool ambiances that I pulled out of here. What we want, let me go back to the video, is sort of, it's a corridor on a ship, sci-fi, whatever, so it doesn't have to be easy or normal. But fortunately, there's so many sounds in this library that you can totally pick. So let's just double check. Here is Underground Garage Quiet Corner. It's kind of eerie and cold. Let's see what some of this is here. Ooh, some super low-end hit. That's pretty cool. Let's add that. And I'm just going to drag this to its own channel here, and it will snap once I'm done to the marker, more or less. And let's find another one. Sports Hall. That one's pretty nice too. How about Industrial Chemical Plant Distant? Yeah, on most naval ships, it's sort of industrial. That might be really nice. Industrial Harbor Manufacturing. Industrial Vent Spacious. Open. Oh, that's really nice. Okay, so you're like, well, that's a loud ambience. And I'm like, I know, but ambiances are going to be really, really low. So we're going to drag this one over. The Vent Spacious, and we'll see if both of these can fill our mix and put it kind of in the same place. First thing we want to do is align it to the cut. Don't even need to listen to anything. We just want to align it. You can see here now what I've done. That's about a frame where I've done a crossfade. So we're here on the cut at 120.29.10. We want to go to 120.29 or so. So we'll slide over until we hit 9 there. Cool. And then we'll just line these two up as it snaps to 9. And then we will do a crossfade, but it's by dragging this little box. I like that shape. Nice thing about these libraries is they don't have any fade-ins, which are awful. If you listen to the CinemaSound education at all, you know that how much I hate fade-ins. And you can see how these crossfade now one frame here and one frame out. And I'm going to jump to the next marker. This is where the next cut is. We're going to cut. We're going to get rid of this. And then the same thing. We're going to see where is this cut point, although we could look at it here in the markers. That cut is 123.18.23. And we want to be 24, which is actually 19.0. They said there'd be no math. 19.0 is about there. Here we go. Drag it to 19.0, which is about there. It will tell me because it's locking at frames right now, which is great. Again, crossfades. Crossfades. And if you don't do a crossfade, although Audition has a little 1 millisecond crossfade, it's really, really too abrupt for the brain. And since your brain is cycling through frames anyway, visually, it's nice to have a little 1 frame crossfade. All right, what do we got now? Well, that's pretty dang industrial. Obviously, way too loud. Let's listen to one at a time. That's a pretty cool Zulu space. Let's add some EQ to see if we can kind of help it. I want EQ, parametric equalizer. We are soloed. Yes, yes we are. You can see it come up here in the effects rack. Let's add some meanness to it. And we'll roll off the highs some. Not that much. And we'll roll off the lows, just in case. This is just a kind of nice little mid-range sound. To help out some of that hootiness. Now, let's add some reverb to it. Now, normally we would have a bus specifically for reverb, but I'm just going to add this in here just for fun. Add a convolution reverb. Maybe a hall. This will be nice. To kind of give it some spaciousness, a little less edge. No pre-delay, width is good, gain is good. Yeah, that's nice. And then maybe some modulation too, to give it a little oscillation, about a little chorus. With a maximum depth. Ooh, maybe not maximum. Spread. Feedback. And a lot of voices. Too much fun. There we go. Cool. We'll do highest processing, and we'll turn the wet down. Just so we have a little bit of it. Cool. Now let's listen to the other one. That's pretty nice. There's not a lot we need to do with that, really. We'll just add some EQ to it. We'll select the channel. Just to maybe help some of the lows, to give it some, maybe some rumble to it. I want EQ. Here we go. We'll take the low frequency shelf. There we are. And we'll roll off the highs, because that's kind of predominantly going on in the other ambience. Nice and easy. Now we got a nice rumble. Let's put it together. Actually, that's a pretty deep, with the convolution reverb, that's really taxing the processor, so we'll let it render that. Good. So it releases the processor with doing pre-render. That's basically what this little lightning looking thing there is. All right, now let's take a listen to how this goes.
Always gotta come out on top, don't you, honey?
The Admiral doesn't have a problem with it.
The Admiral
Just
isn't
a
about
little
to
bit.
build a life of love and partnership.
Just so it's there, let's go back and check out our cut now. Jump over here.
Buzzkill! Oh!
Boom. 1 frame mix between them. 1 frame crossfade, easily made. Sounds great. And, you know, you can keep adding sounds. You don't have to keep just doing 2 sounds. I love ambiences. The more ambiences, the merrier, man. And, excuse me, you've got a whole host. These are just the selects that I just quickly pulled from the library. Let me just show you here what's in this. I mean, there's folders and folders and folders of all kinds of ambiences that are available to you. And just because, this is sci-fi. So just because it's like, oh, it's tennis courts. How would I ever use a tennis court? Well, believe me, by the time you're done adding, effects and whatever, it could very well be a great sci-fi thing. In fact, let's just drag urban tennis courts in here for a second. Let's take a look at urban tennis courts. Actually, that plane in there is pretty cool. You can see this plane. This stuff here. Yeah, The talking maybe not. But if you rolled it off and made all kinds of stuff in the background, then you'd be like, well, maybe there's people milling around back here if you had that, or certainly in this scene, you could have like a wall. Here's background actors moving on all the time. So, and do some fun thing with the tennis ball banging, something that might be cool. So your creativity is the only thing that limits you in this process of posting ambiances into your timelines and using the Boom library. There's so much possibility using these libraries from Boom. I mean, they have a bazillion libraries, but this Ambience library takes the cake because it can be in 3D and stereo as well. Again, 15% off if you buy it at CinemaSound as a CinemaSound member. And come visit us at cinemasound.com. Oh, by the way, the link is below. You can just click on it and then become a member and get that special code. Come visit us at cinemasound.com. We have hundreds of blog posts and articles on ambiances, sound effects, Foley, music, dialogue, mixing, all of it. Not to mention our 85-hour education, which you can see this link for right here, which takes you from I'm a photographer, I don't know anything about sound, all the way to Hollywood-level mixes coming out of Adobe Audition in surround sound and better. Until then, we'll see you in post.
Even if you for yourself.